At 4 p.m., Collins's 22-year-old brother, Homer, arrived at the scene. Even though he understood the danger clearly, he knew his brother had gone more than 30 hours without food, so he crawled inside, carrying food with him. Homer crawled all the way to the vertical shaft above Collins. Then he took off his clothes and shoes, leaving only his underwear on, and slid down. But what he saw sent chills down his spine. The tunnel beside Collins was extremely narrow, and it was also a vertical shaft. If rescuers entered the chute head first, they would have to work upside down to free Collins. And when trying to get out, they would have to use their feet for leverage and back out with extreme difficulty for at least 3 meters before they could even turn around. But entering feet first, the way Homer did not work either. After his feet touched the ground, even if he twisted his body into an almost impossible position, it was still extremely difficult to help Collins. And because Collins was completely pinned from the chest down, both his hands and feet were buried tightly against the inside of his body. Homer could only feed his brother small pieces of food by hand. After that, Homer tried to move the rock pinning his brother down, but every time he moved anything, new stones kept rolling down and filling the empty space again. There was nothing he could do. A few hours later, Homer crawled back out of the cave. His entire body was shaking, and the skin on his fingers was torn. Afterward, many other people tried to enter the cave, but all of them failed. Late that night, Homer went back into the cave alone with a crowbar. He desperately tried to pry loose the massive rock pressing against his brother's chest. 8 hours later, Homer's arms and back were aching badly, but the rock still had not moved at all. At sunrise, Homer climbed out of the cave in despair. On February 1st, as the news of Collins being trapped spread rapidly through the local area, more and more people gathered outside the cave entrance. Some suggested that Collins should try to untie his shoelaces. Others said they should use dynamite to widen the cave, but all of it was just talk. No one actually took action. Homer felt helpless. On the morning of February 6th, 8 members of the Kentucky National Guard arrived at Sand Cave. Their job was partly to help with the digging work and partly to maintain order at the scene. That same day, a young reporter named William Miller also arrived after hearing the news, hoping to interview Homer. Seeing Miller dressed in a suit, Homer clearly had no interest in being interviewed. He casually pointed toward the cave entrance and said that if Miller wanted answers, he could go inside and see for himself.